After being on the road for hours and even staying overnight just outside St. Louis, we have finally made it to the trail. After just a little bit of driving, we actually pulled off and walked down to this little river with small streams of water, which definitely do ramp up in the spring to big rushing rapids. Eventually though, we made it to a bit more of a tight and technical part of the trail with a little bit of issue on a certain part. As you can see, it's a bit of deep mud with a steep climb out, and I get stuck on it. I get stuck and I kind of get beached and I spin my tires. Unfortunately, we didn't capture the rest of it, but I turned on A-Track and it pulled us straight out. A-Track is amazing, and I don't know what I would do without it. So right here we have a little bit of a mud crossing, and then we have a steep climb right after it. And as you can see, I'm just spinning tire. I don't have A-Track on, I'm just trying to get up a bit. I honestly have no idea what's happening, but from the video you can see I'm spinning my driver rear tire. So I eventually back up again, and I get out of the car, talk to Paige, be like, what's going on? And I turn on A-Track, and it literally just pulls me straight up. I can't see, obviously. I literally see sky and there's a tree right next to me, so I'm like, oh no. Paige directs me through it. And honestly, this is just a great representation of how A-Track works. And once again, a big win for A-Track. We have made it to our camp spot, and honestly, Arkansas is not disappointing whatsoever. Beautiful state. We had so much fun on the trails. I did, at least. It was kind of nerve-wracking at some points. We were putting the gear to the test for the first time, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking on that point. But the rig did great. The rig was amazing. Only complaint is ground clearance is still kind of scary. It happens. It's just really choosing the right line to get over stuff. But as you can tell, it's loud here. It's getting very active as it's getting later. Rolled the camp spot around 7 p.m. Did tons of driving yesterday and today. Did a lot of off-roading today. We were on the trail for about 5 hours, I think. I want to say it was. Overall, a great experience. Thanks to Paige for filming all of the clips of me going on the trail and guiding me at the same time. That was crazy. But we have a lot more miles to cover tomorrow. The Ozarks. I'll come back here definitely. The water is so blue. It is strange. Oh my god. Now I'm getting circled by a bug. Anyways, it is like kind of strange how blue it is. It's definitely a place, like I said, I'd want to come back to. I don't know. I think I'd come back in the spring when the rain is coming down actually, and the waterfalls are actually waterfalling. We had a few drizzles, but I think seeing the waterfalls in full action would be pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna have dinner, head to bed probably. The sun's already set, so like lost so much light so fast, especially after the last section of the trail, which was very technical and rocky, so didn't want to pop a tire there. But yeah, we're gonna eat some grub. This morning, we kind of just took our time before heading back out on the trail. We soaked up the fresh Arkansas air and enjoyed the view. Although, eventually, we did have to head out, and the trail gave us a few fun surprises. This was a very long, very rocky water mud crossing. It was really fun to go through. Didn't show the full clip because it was way too long. Just had my drone flying out there, but it was pretty fun to go through. I kind of wanted to give a POV of what I was going through and how me and Paige directed each other as we were on the trail. This is kind of a point of view of literally what I saw. I could not see what was under me, so I did have to have her outside directing me so I didn't clip my tire on a rock. This is currently the view we have. It is a very steep downslope of the trail, and we're just getting it ready, and she's gonna guide me down through it. So it's really rocky, so we'll see how this goes. I wish the camera picked up better on how angled we are right now, because this is pretty crazy. All right, so obviously we're not in the Ozarks anymore. It is Tuesday. The last clip we filmed was Saturday, so it's been a few days since I got home. The trip kind of ended in a pretty bad way. I'm just gonna start from the beginning. We were on a trail, ran into a downed tree basically, and we're like, oh, we'll just turn around and go a different way we saw down a trail so it could reconnect back to the regular trail we were going on. That didn't turn out to be the case. The trail we decided to go down was pretty extreme, even for something lifted with bigger tires. It was out of our comfort zone 100%. We should have really just turned around and went back the way we came. That was on us, but we didn't know the trail conditions. It wasn't rated on Onyx at all, and we just went down it. The trail got pretty steep and technical pretty fast with multiple rock ledges we had to go down, and eventually I got beached in a rock and barely got off of it, and there was no turning around after that. There was no way I could climb that back up. Eventually we made it to a section that had a crossroads, and we kept going straight and around a 90-degree corner basically, and then it came to a ginormous rock ledge that there was no way this was getting down it. It was more for very lifted big tire Jeeps or side-by-sides that could get down it with ease and have long suspension travel. This could not get down that, or else we would have tipped and probably scraped up the underside pretty bad. So we decided to turn around, head back to the intersection of trails. It was either going back up the way we came, which I knew we couldn't get back up that, or trying a trail that was really tight and I didn't know what was down it. Ended up walking down the trail for a bit and saw that it was going to be less advanced than the trails we went down before, but it was going to be way tighter than those trails. So we went for it. This was our only way out, really. The only way to get this thing out was that trail. We went down the trail. It started pretty smooth. It was kind of sketchy because there was a ledge on one side and very tight trees on either side of it. So it was a tight trail with a sharp drop off of the edge. It was just not a good combination to have. And basically we get to this point in the trail where there is a tree on one side, not near my front driver's tire, and a tree near my back passenger door. I had to maneuver through it, but my front tire got stuck on the tree because she is too long and too wide. And so I had to back up, and then I had to go through. But in doing that, my back passenger door got extremely close to that tree and rubbed up all against it and created damage on the 4Runner. It's kind of hard to see here, but there is damage to the taillights. There's damage all right here. Comes all the way up to the door handle on the passenger door, halfway through the passenger door, and all the way up to the driver's door handle. It was so stressful that I just had to do it. I was so stressed out. We were on this trail for about 3 hours trying to figure out how to get out. And this was the only way. This was the only way. We either had to do this or I flipped the 4Runner. And I chose this because I didn't want to total this car. This car's been amazing. But yeah, that's what I chose. That's what happened. It was a very much a learning curve and a learning experience for this. So I know what to do, not to do next time. Basically, after we got off that trail, we aired back up. We inspected the damage. Wasn't happy. There's sap all over it. Still have to get some sap off. And then we're going to start pulling the dents, see what we can do to get this out, as long as the scratches. Some of them will buff out. Most of them won't because it's scratching the paint. But we will see when that time comes. I did end up ordering new taillights because this is illegal. I don't want to be driving on this. So new taillights are coming. They are aftermarket. So we will have a new look for the rear of the 4Runner at least. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience. Kind of sucked on the trails, but all in all, it turned out to be a learning experience and helped us in the long run. Would I do it again? Yes. I would do it again. We do want to go back to the Ozarks eventually, probably in the spring, like I said, but do a lot more research on the trails before I go down them and inspect them more and turn around when I'm supposed to, because obviously it didn't turn out right for me. Also, just noticed this just now. My hitch cover came off, probably when I slammed down on that rock on the rear. So maybe I'll get a new one. I don't know. Look, it looks nicer with the hitch cover on, but it's whatever. I'm just happy that we made it out, and the 4Runner is still mostly in one piece for the most part. But yeah, that was the Ozarks trip. There is a lot left to be desired of that trip, because there's so much more we want to see, so many more waterfalls, so many more mountains. It's just, there's so much to do there. So we will be going back. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, because this was very painful for me to go through and stressful. But yeah, on to the next adventure, I guess, once we get this fixed.